Hi, passionate Rangers FC fans, welcome to Rangers. Update, your dedicated source for all things Rangers. Before we dive in, we want to express our gratitude for your unwavering support. If you bleed blue, don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button then, and let's strengthen our community. Now let's get into the latest updates. A hearty welcome to our new followers. Your backing means the world to us. Wop, let's get to the news. The buzz around Ibrox is absolutely electric this week, and nay for the reasons fans might have hoped. Words trickled through the grapevine that CYRIEL Desires, the Nigerian international and frontman for Rangers, might just be packing his bags and saying cheerio to Glasgow. While nothing's been formally announced by the club, whispers from sources close to the player have suggested that Desires has been eyeing the exit door for a wee while now. He arrived with a lot of promise, brought in their fire, the girls take glory after a mixed run up top, but maybe, just maybe, it's not panned out the way he or the fans imagined. The rumor mill's churning faster than a tenant's tap at a Derby Day pub, and folk are wondering if Desires' days of the light blues are numbered. He's naysayed much publicly, but insiders claim he's told close pals that he's ready for a fresh challenge and that the pressure cooker of Ibrox is getting a bit too hot for his liking. Could we be seeing the last of Desires in blue? The signs are there, and folk are starting to piece things together. Something's brewing, and it smells like a farewell. There's no denying that CYRIEL Desires has had a polarizing spell in Glasgow. Some fans took to him early doors, praising his work rate and determination, even when the goals were a wee bit scarce. Others, well, they've been less kind, pointing fingers when the ball didn't hit the back of the net. It's no easy stepping into the number 9 shirt at Rangers. The weight of expectation is massive, and every miss is magnified tenfold by the media and supporters alike. Rumors started floating about after he was spotted looking less than chuffed on the bench during a recent friendly. Couple that with a cryptic Instagram post, just a sand timer emoji and a pair of eyes, and it sent the internet into meltdown. Folk are speculating that he's already agreed terms with a foreign club, maybe something in Turkey or Belgium. His agent's been seen making the rounds in mainland Europe, and that only adds more fuel to the fire. The Rangers boards remain tight-lipped, but you can how this game works. When there's this much smoke, there's usually a fire burning somewhere deep behind the scenes. Now let's take a look at the context. Desires joined Rangers at a time when the team desperately needed firepower up front. With Alfredo Morelos gone and new manager hopes pinned on a tactical revamp, Desires was seen as a marquee, signing someone they lead the line and bring a continental flair to Scottish football. But despite flashes of brilliance and instinctive finish here, a link-up play moment there, he never quite hit consistent form. It's nay always on the striker mind. The service hasn't been ideal at times, and Rangers themselves have gone through tactical tweaks that didn't always favor a traditional poacher. Still, it's the striker that catches the brunt of the criticism. Sources say Desires has grown wary of being the scapegoat when results go south. One close confidant reportedly said he feels like he's giving 100%, but is never enough for some fans. And maybe that's the crux of the issue. Glasgow's a football city unlike any other, and if you can't thrive under that microscope, it eats away at your confidence. The question now is, does he see a future at Ibrox, or has his heart already wandered? What's especially interesting is the timing of this whole saga. Just weeks before the league kicks off proper, the timing of this potential departure raises more questions than answers. Why now? Is there a specific offer on the table? Is the player pushing for an exit, or is the club quietly ushering him towards the door? Some reckon it's a bit of both. Financially, Rangers aren't in a dire position, but every penny counts in. The battle they closed the gap with Celtic. If an offer came and that made sense for both parties, it wouldn't be shocking to see the board take it. There's also been talk about a younger striker coming in, someone with pace, agility, and a higher resale value. If that's the case, then Desires may find himself sliding down a pecking order, and no striker worth his salt wants that. From a footballing perspective, it may be in everyone's best interest to part ways before the season gets underway. That way, Rangers can bring in a fresh face, and Desires can seek a club that offers a clean slate. But as it stands, we're all left speculating. When asked by a fan after a recent closed-door session if he'd be staying, Desires reportedly shrugged and walked on in silence. No reassurance, No smile, just a nod and a stare. That moment has become folklore already among the faithful circulating. Like wildfire on social media and sparking even more theories. Some believe his silence says it all, that his mind's already made up and now it's just a matter of the logistics being sorted. Rangers have a history of late window drama, and this could be shaping up to be another classic tale. You can almost hear the backroom team working overtime weighing up the options. Will they bring someone in before letting Désiré go? Or is this all part of a bigger reshuffle? Either way, the fans deserve clarity, but in the shadowy world of transfer whispers, clarity's the last thing you usually get. Every player, departures got layers. Emotion contracts, finances, reputations. And in Désiré's case, there's a sense that this story's still got a few twists left in it. One thing's for certain, his future at Rangers is hanging by a thread. Let's not forget Désiré had options before he landed at Rangers. Italian sides, Dutch clubs, even whispers from France. He chose Ibrox because of the stature, the passion, and the promise of regular football at a club with ambition. That hasn't changed, but maybe his personal arc has. Sometimes a move just doesn't click the way it should, and a change of scenery becomes inevitable. Football's full of what could have been tales, and this might be another tay add to the pile. There's a melancholy to the idea of Désiré leaving without ever truly showing the full extent of his talent in blue. It's been said by pundits that he's a confidence player, needs a run of games, a bit of love from the crowd. But Ibrox is nay always patient, especially when the silverware counts in jeopardy. So maybe this is the best for all involved. He can find a team that suits his style better, and Rangers can pivot to a different profile of striker, one who fits the evolving blueprint. But it'll still sting, particularly for those who believed in his potential and saw glimpses of something special. Now, to add more spice to the tale, there's been chatter that Desiré's agent has been in talks with a club in Turkey, believed to be Fenerbahce or Trabzonspor. Turkish media has been rife with reports linking the striker to a summer move, claiming advanced discussions are underway. If that's true, then this story's much further along than most had realized. The Turkish league's known for revitalizing players who've had a rough spell elsewhere. It could be the perfect reboot for him. A passionate fan base, big games, and a league that rewards flair and instinct. Reports even suggest a multi-year deal's been floated with a salary bump that Rangers probably wouldn't match. From a business standpoint, it would free up wages and possibly bring in a modest fee which could be reinvested. All signs point to the talks being serious. If the move materializes, it'll come as no surprise, especially considering the silence from all parties involved. There's something about the way this whole thing's unfolded. Quiet, methodical, and full of signs. Like the calm before a deadline day storm. Rangers fans have been here before. They've seen big names come and go, sometimes with heartbreak, sometimes with relief. But every exit creates a vacuum, and every vacuum demands answers. If Désiré is leaving, who takes his place? Will it be someone from within? Perhaps a youngster promoted from the B team? Or will the board dip into the market for a proven goal scorer? It's a risky game, letting a striker go in the late stages. Or pre-season, especially one with European experience. There's talk of a Scandinavian forward on the club's radar, but that could just be another rumor floating in the mix. Either way, the strategy needs to be sharp. Fans are already restless, and with Celtic looking strong, Rangers can they afford missteps. Désiré may not have been perfect, but he offered something different. Physical presence, hold-up play, and occasional flashes of brilliance. Replacing that won't be simple. The pressure's firmly on the recruitment team now. They'll need to act swiftly if they want to steady the ship and keep the fans on side. Otherwise, this saga could haunt the club longer than anyone expected. Interestingly, inside sources have hinted at some locker room unrest. While no one's named names, there are murmurs that Désiré wasn't fully integrated into the squad's core group. Cultural differences, personality clashes, or simply a lack of connection. Whatever the case it seems, he didn't quite find his tribe at Rangers. That isolation can play a massive role in a player's mindset, especially when the results on the pitch aren't going your way. He was often seen training hard, putting in the graft, but away from the pitch, he kept things low-key, almost distant. Some fans appreciated his professionalism, while others questioned the lack of fire in his belly, but perhaps that was just a sign he never felt truly at home here. If that's the case, then his departure makes even more sense. A harmonious dressing room is critical, especially in a title chase. So if both player and club quietly agree that a clean break's best, who are we to argue? Still, it's a shame that things didn't click. Sometimes in football, talent alone is near enough. It's about timing, chemistry, and fate, and Desires may have lost the coin toss on 0-3. Of course there are those who would defend Desires to the end. They'll point to his goal, tally his moments in big matches, and the fact that he never hid when the pressure was on. He may not have been prolific, but he was reliable in ways that didn't always show up on stat sheets. He made defenders work. He dragged centre-backs out of position. He gave Rangers a focal point even when the system changed around him. His attitude, by all accounts, was spot on. No tantrums, no drama, just quiet commitment. For many supporters, that's worth something. And maybe that's what makes his rumored exit all the more bittersweet. It feels like unfinished business. There was more to come surely if the stars had aligned, but football rarely waits for the perfect storm. When decisions need to be made, they're made ruthlessly. Desires may be remembered as a what if, player. What if the system had suited him better? What if he stayed one more season? What if he bagged that crucial goal against Celtic? We'll never know. But if this is the end, at least he leaves with his head held high. And so we reach the final question. What does this mean for Rangers moving forward? Well, it depends on what they do next. If Desires goes and no replacement comes into pressure, will mount. Fans expect signings, goals, and a serious title challenge. Any hint of regression will spark fury, and the board knows it. But if they act smart, bring in someone hungry, mobile, and capable of delivering instantly, then maybe, just maybe, this whole episode will be remembered as a necessary step forward. Football's brutal that way. Heroes become forgotten in weeks, and new idols emerge from nowhere. CYRIEL Desires might be on his way out, but football never stops. The rumors will keep flying, the fans will keep dreaming, and the jersey will wait for the next warrior to don it. If this is goodbye, it's one wrapped in quiet respect and unfulfilled potential. And while the chapter closes with a whisper, rather than a roar, one thing's certain, the blue of Glasgow never forgets even when the names change. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Because at Ibrox, the next story is always just around the corner. Another curious wee detail has popped up is Desires' sudden drop in social media activity. Normally you'd see the lad posting now and then, training pics with quotes about hard work or gratitude, or even celebratory moments with teammates. But lately, radio silence. His Instagram's gone cold, Twitter's been untouched, and fans are starting to notice. Now that might sound like nothing, just a lad stepping back from the spotlight. But in today's world, players use those platforms to connect. They reassure supporters to show they're committed. Silence often speaks louder than words. It's got folk wondering, has he been told to lie low while the deal's wrapped up? Is he mentally already out the door? We've seen it before, haven't we? When a move's closed, media teams advise players. Stay quiet, keep their heads down, avoid stoking fires. It could just be that. Or maybe he's just fed up with the noise, the criticism, the expectation that every post needs to explain something. But here's the thing. When a player goes quiet, fans get loud. And right now, the silence around Desires is deafening. Maybe he's waiting for the right moment to say goodbye. Or maybe the goodbyes already happened behind the scenes. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. What makes this whole situation even murkier is the lack of public backing from the club. We've seen Rangers defend players before when transfer rumors got out of hand, issuing statements, posting videos, even just a cheeky nod from the gaffer saying he's going nowhere. But with Desires, nothing. Not a whisper from the press team, not a quote from the manager, not even a wee clip of him in training lately. That absence speaks volumes. When a club wants to keep a player, they make it known. They squash rumors, fast remind the world he's part of the plan. But when it's quiet, that's when you start to think there's something real behind. The curtain. Some say it's strategy. They're working behind the scenes trying to sort a replacement before the official word drops. Others think maybe the club's just ready to move on. Whatever the case, the silence is suspicious. It's like everyone's tiptoeing around a deal that's already signed in pencil. If Desires was staying, surely we'd have heard something by now. Instead, it feels like we're all just waiting for the push notification they confirm what we already suspect. And here's where the emotional bit kicks in. Because whether ye loved or questioned Desser's time at Ibrox, there's no denying the weight that comes with wearing that badge. He stepped into a pressure cooker, eyes watching his every move, every touch, every finish. And in fairness, he never hid. Even when the goals dried up, he fronted up, kept running, kept fighting. That takes guts. But maybe he's reached a point where the battle's no longer worth the bruises. Maybe the pressure, the noise, the constant analysis, it's drained him. Footballers are human after all, and Glasgow is one of the most intense cities in the world to play in. When you win, you're a hero. When you don't, you're a target. Some thrive in that environment, others wilt. And if Desers feels he can find more joy, more peace, or even just more football elsewhere, who are we to judge? That doesn't make him weak. It makes him real. It makes him a professional doing what's best for his career. And if he does move on, I hope folk remember that he gave what he had. It just wasn't the fairy tale some hoped for. Interestingly, a few players have quietly unfollowed Desers online, which always gets folk talking. Now we're no saying that Instagram politics equals confirmed transfers, but let's be honest, in 2025, that stuff matters. 1 minute you're liking your teammates' post, the next you're scrubbing your timeline clean. It could be nothing. It could be everything. In football circles, social media activity is like modern smoke signals. And the signals here, they're suggesting a separation. Maybe players know he's off. Maybe he told them himself. Or maybe it's just standard behavior when someone's about to exit. Some insiders say the locker room's already had the "he's off" chat, and the dressing room's preparing for life after Desers. If that's true, then we're looking at the tail end of the story, just waiting for the credits to roll. No dramatic farewell, no testimonial, just a quiet walk out the back door while the fans try to piece it all together. It's a harsh end if that's how it plays out. But in modern football, not every story gets a sentimental send-off. Sometimes it's just business, clean, fast, done. And maybe that's what this is. But here's the thing, there's still a flicker of doubt. Until we see the official announcement, until we see him holding up another shirt somewhere far from Ibrox, there's a part of every fan that wonders, could he still stay? Maybe this is all media noise stirred up to drive clicks and keep folk. Guessing. We've seen it before. Players on the brink of a move who end up signing an extension instead. Could the silence be part of some bigger negotiation tactic? A power play between club and agent trying to get the best deal maybe? Desers wants assurances. A bigger role, more minutes, maybe even a new system that suits his style. Maybe he's just putting pressure on the board to show faith. If so, it's a risky game. But sometimes risks pay off. If Desers scores a brace in the next match, the whole narrative flips. Suddenly, he's back in the fold, back in the plans, back in the hearts of the support. Stranger things have happened in football. Until the ink dries on a contract somewhere else, this story remains open. And in that space, there's still room for surprises. So where does that leave us? Well, sitting in limbo, really. Desers hasn't spoken. The club hasn't confirmed. The fans are restless. The media's buzzing. And the whispers are getting louder by the hour. It feels like we're on the brink of something, but nobody knows what exactly. A permanent move, a season-long loan, a late U-turn, everything's on the table. And that's what makes this moment so tense. It's not just about one player leaving. It's about what that departure signals. Are Rangers shifting strategy? Is there a bigger rebuild underway? Or is this just the natural end of a chapter that never fully got going? One thing's for sure, decisions need to be made soon. The season's coming fast, the squad needs stability, and the fans need answers. Whether Desers is part of the future or the past, clarity is what everyone's craving now. Until then, we wait, refreshing timelines, analyzing every blink, every quote, every squad list. It's classic transfer drama, and love it or hate it, we're all hooked. Because at the end of the day, football's not just about goals, it's about stories. And this one still has a few pages left. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.